What's going on, guys? It's Rowdy DB, and if you don't know who I am, definitely hit the subscribe button because we do rowdy stuff all the time. I'm making a video on how to change the chain and sprockets on an XR100R. I got brand new sprockets, and we're gonna put these on, and I got a brand new chain. I got a brand new chain right here. Let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do is take off these two 10mm bolts. It makes it a whole lot easier just to take this guard off when messing with the chain, and especially taking the rear sprocket off. So you got two 10mm right there. Those out real quick. Put that off to the side. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8mm bolts. You want to take those out real quick just to get to the sprocket a whole lot easier. They're all out. I'm just gonna keep them inside that side case. The next step is finding where the master link is, and if there isn't a master link, you will need a chain breaker. So the next step now is to find the master link, and if you don't have a master link, you'll need a chain breaker, something like this, where you got to get on the chain, break it, push it through, and then the chain will be apart. But I'm pretty sure I have a master link, so let's find it real quick. And there's the master link. Now we're gonna pop this link off, push it through, and break the chain loose. There's that. Pop this link off. Push that right through, boom. Chain is now broken and off. So real quick, we're gonna do the easy sprocket. We're just gonna pull this one off real quick, because this one we do have to pull the rear wheel off, but we're gonna start off with this. This is gonna be one of those cases where using an impact gun is probably gonna be a little bit easier, just because this will spin freely. So you can tighten it before you take the chain off and whatnot, but I'm just gonna use this and probably just use my other hand to hold the sprocket a little bit just to give it some resistance, but it should pop them both off real easy. That's one, and that's that. That's why I recommend using an impact gun, just because it breaks it loose real easy. Go ahead and push the new sprocket in. Just line it up. Push that in. And now we just go back in reverse. Put this back on. And you have to put it off to the side and spin it. Boom. So now I got that lined up. And just to make sure you're good, once you kind of get those fingers tight, you want to kind of yank it on a little bit. It's not coming off. It's on there good. Now we're just going to go back and tighten it up real quick. Ouch. You can also put it into first gear and then just hit it with the gun real quick. Or if you have to, ratchet, hit it with the ratchet and then just tighten it down. Boom, put it right back into neutral and then finish the job. And now we got to get the rear wheel off and then put the new chain and sprocket on. All right, now we're gonna break this loose real quick. Might need some leverage. I got a little breaker bar. Make sure the other side's not spinning. And it is a 19mm socket that you'll need. The head of the axle bolt is a 14mm. All right, so now I have the bike up on a stand just to make it a little bit easier. And you might need a little persuasion to push that axle through. Don't judge. Now since it's out, pull it out from the other side, and it shouldn't have the adjuster with it. And boom, take it off. Kind of let it hang off to the side. Boom, right there with the brake cable. And now you got the rear wheel out. Now this is a perfect time to inspect your brake shoes. Now the next step of this is to break these nuts loose on the back side of the sprocket. Make sure you don't lose your spacer. And yeah, there's not another one on that side. Make sure that spacer does not fall out, and if it does, it only does go in one way, and that's going to be on the sprocket side. come out just like that, and you can tell which side has been sitting inside. As you're cracking each nut loose, bolt is going to end up spinning, so you want to get a number 6 Allen wrench that fits in there. and hold it as you take the nut off. All right, once you get all 4 out, sprocket should just come right off. Boom, that's it. And you want to inspect it real quick. This one was getting real bad. Not only was it getting sharp and pointy, but it was starting to go one direction. This one's the flat side, and this is the side we want on the outside. You can tell by where the bolts go. And now all you gotta do is just line it up, put the bolts right back in, and tighten it up. I'm gonna treat this like lug nuts on a wheel. I'm gonna do a cross formation when I tighten them. So I'm gonna do here, here, and then here, and then here. And then I'm gonna come back all around and make sure that they're real tight. All right, and that's what it should look like. All nice and tight, ready to go back in. Now we got it back on. Gotta put the adjusters back on and the nut. We're gonna make sure we have it all lined up. And then we're gonna adjust the chain. Brand new chain. This one calls for a 120 and the bike calls for 118 links. So we will have to take 2 links off of this. So now we're gonna set this where it needs to go. And then you can hand tighten it just so to make sure you're in the right spot. And boom, you got the outer side locked in. Grab a wrench just to tighten it up, just to really make sure you're in. Use a wrench while you hold the handle so you can make sure you can get it nice and tight without it spinning in your hand. Boom, that's nice and tight, holding on to the link. And now we use this back piece. That's what's gonna drill the pin through it, and we're gonna get the link off. Boom, crack it, and just keep going until it drives all the way through. And you can see that pin is starting to stick through the tool. You just wanna go until you bottom out the tool. The pin comes right out. The pin fell out. But now you just back it all out. And boom, 2 links off. And we are so close. So what we need to do is just pull the front axle forward. The adjusters need to be reset, because you will tighten up these adjusters as the chain stretches. So I want them to be loose so I can bring the wheel towards the front of the bike. So now, since I got them both adjusters loosened and all the way up to the front, I'm able to get them in now. It's a little hard to see, but there's the master link and the other link. I can bring them closer together, and if you have to, just loosen up the adjuster and you'll be able to grab the rear wheel and bring it towards the front of the bike. You want that closed end going towards the direction of where the chain is going, and use the flathead. You can kind of use the other link to kind of pry it in there. And you can kind of use the link behind it. Once you get it sitting in there the way it needs to be, use the link behind it. Boom, and now it's on there. So now we got the front sprocket on, we got the chain on, and we got the rear sprocket. Now the next thing to do is tightening up this chain, because this is way too much slack. And the way to do that is with this adjuster. And this is a new adjuster, I had to get new ones. But if you look at the old XR, there's a little mark right there, right at the highest point of that adjuster. And you would line it up with these tick marks so that you can have it matched up on both sides. This one is gonna be a little bit harder, but it is the highest point right about there. So I will adjust it and I will show you what it looks like, and I'll show you what the chain is supposed to look like as far as slack wise. We have the chain adjusted. You want to adjust the chain with the bike off the stand. You want it to be adjusted to how it sits freely, because you want to have a certain amount of slack, because when you sit on it, it'll make it tighter. So this will stretch because it is a brand new chain. I will be having to tighten it up, but now I'm just like right before the 4th mark on both sides, so I'm pretty matched up, because you want your axle to be nice and straight in the swing arm. You don't want it to be off a little bit, or else, you know, the sprocket gets on the swing arm, whatever the case is. Everything is tight. The rear axle gets torqued down to 46 foot-pounds, so if you are, you know, if you do have a torque wrench, go ahead and do that. If not, just give it really good ugga-dugga, or just really get down with the wrench on it, but not way too hard. And just wait for the big click. And there it is, 46 foot-pounds. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw back the guard on there, throw back the side case. We got the side case put on, we got the chain guard put on. After you tighten the axle, you want to go back and just tighten these up just to make sure they're snug. They're not going to move, but you just want to make sure that they don't ever vibrate out or rattle out or nothing. But look, We still got the chain with a good slack, and like I said, it is going to stretch soon, so probably after a couple rides of me, you know, really getting down on it, I'm going to have to tighten it up. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate y'all watching. This is basically for any kind of pit bike, dirt bike, even if you have a bigger sprocket that's got 6 bolts, 5 bolts, whatever it is, same process more or less. I appreciate y'all watching my content. If you like the rowdy stuff that I do, definitely subscribe, because I do a lot of rowdy stuff. I also got that Honda Elite that I'm working on, so stay tuned. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.